welcome to another episode of Get Paid for Your Pad. And today I'm using a different technology, Ecamm. It's going to be really fun. We can see your comments. If you're watching live, drop me a comment. Tell me where you are located. Today is a really cool day because a lot of hosts have received their cancellation money from Airbnb. So we've seen a lot of people commenting in our communities. A lot of people are very happy to have received that money finally, because a lot of hosts have been waiting for a very long time. So we're all very happy. So let me pull up Mr. Eric Miller here. Do we want to see Eric Miller? Let's give him a round of applause first. There he is.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Eric? How are you doing?
I see that you're having a lot of fun with your new tool here.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm definitely having a lot of fun. It's a cool tool. It's going to allow us to make these live streams a lot more fun. It'll be easier for us to see the comments, and we can do like multiple cameras. What's up, Anibal? And we can put in comments as well. Anibal right here. Not my case. Oh, you haven't received anything yet? Well, don't worry. Like, it'll probably come. But yeah, man, it's a lot happening this week, and I'm excited to dive into some topics. Obviously we're gonna cover the cancellation fees that Airbnb finally paid out. Brian Chesky did a live on, I think it was Tuesday, right? Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. But he announced the Enhanced Cleaning Initiative. So we're going to explain what that all means. I read through all of it, so I have a pretty good idea. And there's a glimpse of hope from China. So that's good. I'm going to explain what I mean by that as well. And last but not least, I want to talk to you about how hosts are going from being a host to being an entrepreneur. So what do you think about that topic?
That's interesting. I'm interested to see where you're going to go with that one.
Yeah, I was chatting with Mark on his podcast, the Boostly podcast yesterday, and I came up with the from host to entrepreneur, which is what I think we need to be doing right now. So I'll explain everything what I mean by that. All right, but first let's dive in. Airbnb has finally paid cancellation fees. I've seen so many people posting screenshots, $400 here, $500 here, $1,200 there. A lot of people finally receiving their money. What have you seen? I know you've been in communication with our STR legends a lot. I'm sure there's some money flowing that way.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to see. I'm trying to get some feedback from the legends. Again, these are operators that are running, 50 plus properties that are doing a few $1 million a year on Airbnb. And yeah, this morning I woke up to just one message after another of them receiving money from Airbnb, just dropping it right into their account, which is pretty awesome. And sums pretty large amounts too. One person got north of $6,000, another person got nearly $3,000, another for $3,000, and they just keep coming on. So, the feedback that I'm getting is that we're seeing this in our Facebook groups for hosts of all sizes. They're just now starting to get their funds. And it seems like to be all over the place. We watched somebody in our group the other day post up a screenshot. Airbnb sent them $1.69. And it probably cost them more money to send that than what it was actually worth. But then, we got bigger operators getting, $6,000-$7,000. So I think it's helpful. I think it could be helpful for some people, but that's also $7,000 across 100 listings that they had.
Yeah, it's all relative, man. It's all relative, of course. I think Eric might be stuck here. Are you back? Okay, there you are. I lost you for a moment.
Are we frozen?
I lost you for a moment. But you're back, so that's good. Yeah. I'm happy because a lot of people were quite skeptical. I noticed about these cancellation fees that they would be receiving back. I saw a lot of skepticism from a lot of hosts, and I think it's because Airbnb said they were going to pay out early April, but it took them quite a while. They waited, from what I've seen, they waited with most of the payments until the end of April. So a lot of hosts were starting to lose confidence a little bit, and so yeah, I think a lot of people are happy. Maybe this will bruise up Airbnb's damaged image a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. We'll see. I'm not sure. I mean, it's awesome to see them actually take action and put it, dump some money and invest back into their host. But the hosts that are receiving $1 or $2, or $7,000 across 100 listings, I'm not sure how that's really impacting them.
Yeah, and if you're watching this live in the Airbnb Pro Club, drop me a comment and let me know if you've received any money. Just drop the number. And yeah, the other thing that really dominated the news this week was the enhanced cleaning initiative that Airbnb announced. Right. So have you heard about this yet or no?
I have. Yeah, I have. It's interesting to see that they're releasing it, and again, a lot of mixed opinions on this. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's again one of those policies that they suddenly come out with, and I already saw some screenshots in the groups of people that were posting that these policies were already into effect. So I'll quickly explain what this all means, right? So the policy is called Enhanced Cleaning Initiative. It's supposed to start in May, but again, it seems like they've already rolled it out in some markets. Basically, what it means is that they've put together a whole bunch of cleaning standards and protocols, right? If you, as an Airbnb host, if you can clean your place, if you enroll in this protocol, then I think they will give you a little boost in the search results, but also the guests they can probably use a filter. Or you get like a little badge on your profile or your listing so that guests can recognize you take this cleaning protocol, that you have this cleaning protocol in your cleaning procedures. So listings enrolled in the cleaning protocol will be available for stays immediately after the enhanced cleaning is performed. The CDC recommended a 24-hour wait period before entering the property. So what you need to do as an Airbnb host, you need to, when your guests leave, you have to wait 24 hours, and then your cleaning crew can go in, clean the place, and then when they're done, you're allowed to receive your new guests, right? Now, if you cannot do this for whatever reason, then the alternative is that you can opt into a new feature called Booking Buffer. I think Eric's gone. I think his internet is.
I'm still here.
Oh, you're still there.
Yeah,
okay, I can't see you anymore.
Apologize, guys. Our Wi-Fi is acting up like crazy nowadays, so I'm going to shut off the camera and just have audio here.
All right, no worries. I'll so people can just look at me instead. I'm better looking than you.
Yeah, anyway, the pretty face of the group.
Exactly. So that makes sense. But yeah, as I was saying, like if you can't enroll in the cleaning protocol for whatever reason, then you can alternatively opt into a new feature called Booking Buffer, and Airbnb says you can opt into it. But I have a feeling they're going to basically push all the hosts into this Booking Buffer thing. If you don't enroll in this cleaning protocol. And basically what happens is that you then are not allowed to take 72 hours between check-ins, right? So you need to have a 72-hour, that's 3 days, where you cannot accept guests in your property, right? So yeah, that's the whole thing. And I saw a screenshot of a host who wasn't able to accept, or basically saw some dates that were blocked because of this buffer period. So I feel like, and I might be wrong on this, but I feel like Airbnb is basically going to push this onto anybody who doesn't opt into the cleaning protocol. But yeah, it's a little early to tell, but we'll see. By the way, what's up, Margie? Margie just left us a comment. Nice shirt. Thank you, Margie. I figured I'd put some color. I usually wear a black shirt. Figured I wear something colorful today.
That's right. It comes from all the way from Colombia.
That's right. Yeah, I bought it in Cartagena when we were there for our Legends. Man, it seems crazy that we were having this event just a couple months ago. So far out of
I
my
know.
reality right now. And
Freaking nuts. Freaking nuts.
Margie mentions that her internet is pretty bad these days as well. It seems like a global phenomenon.
Yeah,
Phenomenon.
yeah, it's definitely a global thing because we've been battling with Wi-Fi here for the last month ever since the lockdown started happening, and we contacted the internet company. They're like, "You have the fastest internet that we have in that area," and it's crazy. Some days it's good, some days it's bad, but yeah, the reports are just coming back that everybody's online, everyone's streaming, especially services like Skype and Zoom. They're just they're kind of packed right now to their brim. So yeah, I apologize if my end is breaking up here, but it's pretty bad over here.
Yeah,
But not in Barcelona. Barcelona seems it's pretty solid.
you know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit surprised, but pleasantly surprised. I check my
Yeah,
internet every day, and it's literally like it's so high. It's almost like 100 MPS per second, or what I don't know exactly what that means, but all I know is if it's higher than 20 or so, then it's pretty fast, and mine's up to 100. If there's any tech people who are watching live right now, just drop a comment and let me know if that's really as fast as I think it is. But Kimberly just commented, same with internet here in San Antonio. 200 Mbps. She paid for over 200 and it tends to be around 40. Okay, so you're getting about a fifth of what you're paying for. Well, you better get some money back there. So Kimberly also asked,
dude,
is this 72-hour, is it automated through Airbnb or not? So I don't know. I'm not sure
yeah,
exactly. I have a feeling it will be.
yeah.
What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, it's going to be a feature, right? So you have to comply with the rules, but yeah, they're automatically going to shut out your listing from being able to book it, right? So and I have mixed. I mean, again, this is just another thing that just doesn't make sense to me why they would roll this out. It's not helpful to anybody. Rolling out cleaning standards on how to clean these properties and maybe a certain checklist or education towards the host and the cleaners on how to clean properties correctly, but to block out 72 hours for hosts just seems kind of crazy. It just, I don't know. I don't understand how this is going to really help anybody. I understand that the virus can live up to 72 hours on certain surfaces, but there's also certain techniques, just as they mentioned for the CDC on cleaning, right? So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's kind of crazy. I think Airbnb could have taken a better route. Maybe this is their route to educate people and hosts on how to actually clean their properties, but I think it's more of a reaction than a response to
Mm.
this.
Yeah, and Kimberly is saying more Airbnb overarching controls. I also
Yeah,
have a feeling that this is going to really upset a lot of hosts, like that person I saw in their Facebook group today, who posted the screenshot. That person was not happy. You're losing a customer because Airbnb
yeah.
just automatically blocks out your calendar, which is not it's not a good thing.
That's why direct booking is going to be the future of short-term rentals, right? It's like Airbnb's now, we're always going to be putting our listings up on Airbnb, but I see more and more hosts really trying to figure out how to master direct bookings and control the guest over what Airbnb is doing right now. It's just kind of crazy. And once you learn the process of marketing and setting up your website and everything else, there's enough tools out there and enough training out there to really set up to make it easy to do self-directed self bookings,
Mm-hmm.
direct bookings. I think it's going to be easier for people to do this. So we're going to see more and more people doing direct bookings than just relying on Airbnb moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people are going to see Airbnb as a marketing channel and not as a home base, right? So
Right.
people still using it will be using it, of course. I mean, why wouldn't you use a marketing channel if it's there? But I agree with you. I think people, and that's what I mean by I mentioned to you before I started recording. I think we're going to go from host to entrepreneur, and that's exactly what I mean by that. Is if you start any other business, you need to do marketing. You need to hustle. You need to do a lot of things in order to get business. It's not easy. I mean, I've tried to start probably up to a dozen businesses by now, and almost all of them failed because it's just so hard to attract business. You really have to dial in your marketing. You have to understand who your avatar is. You have to understand what your solution is. You have to understand what the pain points of the avatars. But Airbnb, because of Airbnb, and because of this whole short-term rental niche has seen such a hot niche, we've kind of been getting away with with not having to do all that stuff. So I think that's gonna change, and I want to talk a little bit about email marketing because I made an incredible discovery yesterday that I want to share with you guys that I'm really really excited about. All right, I think we lost Eric for a second, but let me read some comments from the group here. So Kimberly saying, "I'm so thankful to be part of this group. We appreciate you as well, Kimberly. Great to have you here." Margie saying, "Direct bookings are next for me. Unfortunately, this is probably the level of push I needed to get over my fears and do it." Well, Margie, and that's that's what I think this crisis. The good thing about a crisis is that it pushes us to do the things that we usually wouldn't do, right? So it pushes us to get out of our comfort zone, think about creative solutions, think about, what can we do? What actions can we take to get more control over our business? Because if we can figure out how to make our business work in this environment, then, we'll be able to make it always work, right? So that's why I think I always ask myself, like, what is the gift in any situation? And in this case, I think the gift is that we are going to come out stronger as a person because we have to grow, because we have to go outside of our comfort zone. We have to think outside of the box to find different solutions and literally do things that you wouldn't do. And I have a very good example of something that I did that I haven't done for 2 years. It's kind of crazy, actually. I've just never thought of this before. But let me share with you what I've done. Right. So as you guys probably know, I manage this boutique hotel. It's a very small hotel on the Red Sea in Egypt. I started managing it 2 years ago after I went kite surfing there. Essentially, what happened is I went kite surfing and I saw this little hotel and I thought, this is cool. It's right on the beach. It's really cute. And I talked to the owner and I was like, hey, how's this on Airbnb? Like, do you get a lot of bookings from Airbnb? And this guy is Russian, so he responded in his Russian accent. He was like, what is Airbnb? And I was like, whoa, you don't know what Airbnb is? So I was like, you need to get on Airbnb. You get these rooms on Airbnb. And so I asked him, like, how do you manage his business? And he's essentially just driving organic traffic, mostly using Instagram, using video. And so I jumped into this partnership with him, and then for 2 years now, I've been helping him with the management, putting it on Airbnb and stuff. But I've never really. The only thing I've done in terms of marketing to past guests is I always, when we get a booking, I always put the phone number of the guest in my phone, and I usually send them a message on WhatsApp. So I still have all at least the people that came through Airbnb, I have all their phone numbers and I can send them a message. But I never thought about email, which is crazy because I've been using email marketing for Get Paid for Your Pad for 6 years. I've been sending out emails. If you've been around for a while, you've probably received emails from me. Now those, I don't write those manually, right? I have a system for that. And it's called an autoresponder, an email autoresponder. And so what you can do with that is that you can put all your contacts in the email autoresponder, and then you can literally schedule emails to go out. And that's a really efficient way to market to your past guests. Email is still the most efficient way of marketing. I looked it up. I looked at some reports, and they did a survey among small business owners, and they asked like what type of marketing gives you the highest results in terms of client retention, and 81% said email. Right, so email is still really, really important, even though it's it's kind of boring and a little old school, but it's still a very effective way to market. And so, I was thinking, what if I can get the email addresses of our past guests? So I messaged my business partner, and I didn't really expect that he had a database of emails, because he's kind of he's not really that organized. But then he sent me an Excel sheet with over 1,000 email addresses, over 1,000 email addresses. And just to go back on what you were saying, Margie, that this is a time where we think of creative ways, we think of doing things that we normally wouldn't do. Like, I've never thought of asking him for these emails, because we were getting a lot of business, so I didn't really have a need to. But at the same time, like, it's an extra, like, why wouldn't you email your past guests, right? I mean, more people returning, in keeping on their radar. Client, it's essentially client relationship management. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Every other business does that, right? So it just, when I got those emails, I was like, why didn't I ask for these emails 2 years ago? Right. But I have them now. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an entire marketing system in MailChimp. And the reason I'm going to do it in MailChimp is because MailChimp is free. Now, I use ActiveCampaign to send emails for Get Paid for Your Pad, but ActiveCampaign is quite expensive. So I think for hosts like yourself, if you're listening, you're watching right now, I think MailChimp is the perfect program to do it. It's free. You can have up to 2,000 contacts. It's very easy to use. It's probably the most used autoresponder in the market. And so what I want to do is I'm going to build my system in MailChimp, but then I'm going to share with everybody how I'm setting it up, how I'm doing it. I'm going to do a training in the Short-Term Rental Profit Academy Inner Circle on Tuesday to show everybody how to get set up on MailChimp. And then I'm going to do a challenge with everybody. And what my goal is for everyone, including myself, to send out my first email by the end of May. Right? So how cool would that be if, by the end of May, you'll be able to send out your first email to your past guests. So I want to encourage everybody, some of you, and drop me a comment if you're already marketing to your past guests with emails. Maybe you've not been collecting emails, but maybe there's a way to get some. Maybe you're still in touch with some of your guests. Maybe you can send them a message and just say like, "Hey, I want to send you an email. Like, do you want to share your email address?" Maybe you've recorded them already, or maybe you have some email addresses. But even if you have one email address, you can set up your system, right? You can sign up for the autoresponder. You can set up your system. And you can basically get ready and start collecting email addresses in the future, right? I'm also going to be talking about how do you collect email addresses, right? There's a lot of different ways. Of course, these days there's technology for that. You can go do it very old school, just asking people. You can have a guest book. There's all sorts of ways on collecting these emails. But what I want everybody to start doing is let's collect every single email from every guest that comes through our properties. Put those in our database, and then, we'll send out a monthly email, a monthly, whatever it is, a newsletter, maybe an update about an event in your area. Maybe you can just send out an email and say like, "Hey, we appreciate it that you stayed with us. We miss you. We want you to come back. If you want to come back, we'll give you a 10% discount, and tell your friends." And then especially in combination with a direct booking website where you can send them, I think that could work really, really well. So let's see. That's my plan essentially. So I'm going to be talking a lot about email marketing in the next couple of weeks. This is something that I personally have a lot of experience with, although not messaging guests, but messaging you guys essentially. But the principles are the same, right? The principles that you need to think about is when you send an email, the first purpose is that people open the email, right? So how do you write a subject line that's interesting, that sounds interesting and raises some curiosity or whatnot? right? You want your guest to open the email, but then you have to bring some value, right? Because if the guest doesn't like the email, then they're not going to open the next one. So you have to share something that they're interested in, right? So you could even like when you put the email addresses in a database, you could even put them on different lists. For example, if you get business travelers, you could put them on a different list than, for example, families, right? And then you can even send out emails and customize them. So you can send out one email to all the business travelers, and then you send out a different email to the family members. Or if people come in, let's say people come in for an event, right? Let's say you're near Disneyland. What you can do with an email autoresponder is you could literally put that email in the responder and have it automatically send out an email a year from now, let's say minus 2 weeks, and say, and Disneyland wasn't a good example, by the way. Let's say, let's take South by Southwest, and I know events are not happening here, but I'm just using it as an example. But you could send an email that goes out like maybe 3 months before the next event, and say like, hey, I know you came to South by Southwest last year, and I'm sure you're interested in coming again this year. Well, guess what? If you book now, I'll give you a special deal, or I'll give you a free airport pickup, or whatever it may be. Right? You can schedule these emails to go out at certain times, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore, right? You don't have to think about it. That email is automatically going to go out at the exact time that you want it to go out. So there's so much cool things that you can do with email marketing with autoresponders. So I'm super excited to dive into it myself, to build up my system, to put all the emails that I have in my database, and to start sharing with everybody what I'm doing, how I'm setting it up, and etc. So I have to take a sip of water, because I've been talking for a while now, and Eric has left me. So that's just a little bit of feedback on what's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. What we're going to be doing in the background. By the way, we're building an entire course just on direct marketing. It's going to be pretty cool. We're super excited about it. We're doing a lot of research, putting different experts in, and I think we're going to have an incredible course. So it's going to take us a little bit of time to build, but just want to put it out there that you know what to expect. So just reading some of the comments. So Kimberly is saying she's with me on the direct bookings, and the entrepreneurial journey. Had quite a few starts and stops. Yep, that's sounds very, very familiar. The San Antonio market, Texas, the local real estate, the REIAs, the real estate investment clubs, are asking, is Airbnb dead? Well, they're not dead yet. I hope they're going to be around. But yeah, so I guess a lot of people are wondering, right, what's going on with Airbnb. There's a lot of negative publicity right now. Do we know if booking buffer is mandatory if a host does not commit to the enhanced cleaning protocol? So I think my understanding is yes. I think they're going to push this on us, but they haven't really announced it that way. I read through the announcement, and the way that Airbnb phrased it was, if you can't do the enhanced cleaning protocol, then you can opt into the buffer. But I have a feeling they're just going to push you into it. But we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm thinking that's a precursor to what's happening overall in the short-term rental market. Investors are backing away from short-term rentals, which will hopefully desaturate. Yeah, so there's probably going to be a lot less supply, especially the people that came into the space in the last couple of years, as it was getting really it was getting a hot niche. There was, and hot niches always attract people that come in, for the opportunity, but not necessarily for the passion, right? I think the people that are passionate about hospitality, that are going to stay in the game, even though there is this crisis right now. I think when you're passionate about something, I think that's the most important thing that you have to have as an entrepreneur. The reason why I'm still doing these podcasts after 330 is because I love doing it, right? So, the first 2 or 3 years, I didn't make a single penny by doing these podcasts. In fact, I think the first year it cost me money. But the reason why I'm keep doing it is because, it's something that I enjoy doing. It's my passion. So I think that the people who are passionate about hospitality, I think those people are going to stick it out. They're gonna find a way to get through this crisis, and then when we get to the other end, eventually, when everything recovers, when travel recovers, I think a lot of the opportunistic players are not going to be around, which means that there will be a lot of demand for us. Robert's asking MailChimp. Yeah, so I'm gonna set everything up in MailChimp because I know that's a tool that I would recommend that people use when they're starting out. Like I said, it's free. It's very easy to use. It doesn't have a lot of complicated features. Like the active campaign that I use has crazy features. You can do so much with it. I mean, I could literally send out an email and it will track like links that people click on. It can even track what you're doing on my website. So I can really like spy on my subscribers. I'm not using most of those features, by the way, just so you know. But there's so much functionality, but you don't need all that functionality. What you really need is a simple system where you can just once a month, you can just send out an email to your past guests. You can put them in different categories, and you can schedule automated emails, right? So you could schedule an email to go out maybe a week after the stay and just say like, hey, just wanted to check in with you. Hope you had a great journey back home. We really enjoyed staying with you. We just wanted to say thanks. And if you want to come back, here's a discount code, whatever, right? So you can schedule those automatically. MailChimp, I think, is a perfect system for that. Let's see. Annabelle is saying, I'm not emailing, even when I've worked as the email marketing manager for a marketing agency for almost a decade, right? And that just shows that, you know, when we're listing on Airbnb, like a lot of us haven't really been thinking about it as a business from an entrepreneurial perspective, right? And so including myself, right? Like I said, like it never came to my mind to just ask my business partner, hey, do you have those emails? Let's start emailing people. Right. I mean, these are really hot leads. People that have already stayed with you, right? Those people are way more likely to stay with you again than a random person, than if you were to send an email to a random person, right? So I think it's a really powerful tool. And I'm kind of a little bit mad at myself that I didn't think about this before. Seems so obvious to me right now. All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for joining this live stream. Unfortunately, Mr. Eric Miller couldn't be here for the whole time with us, but we're going to have to fix this internet at his place. I'm sure we'll be able to make some improvement for next time. But I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast. I'll be back on Monday. I'm going to have Mark Simpson on again. Like Mark was on the last time, and so many people have reached out to me saying that they enjoyed that episode so much, and they asked me to bring back on. And he's also a marketing expert. So I want to talk more about the email marketing. He's a perfect person to talk to. So we're going to have Mark back on Monday, where we're going to dive into more email marketing strategies and all of that. So make sure, don't miss it on Monday, 10 a.m. PST. We are going to talk about email marketing. So guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys putting in the comments and everything. It makes it really fun. And everybody who's listening through the regular channels, join the Airbnb Profit Club. Right? You have to just fill out a couple questions. Then we'll approve you into the group. We have almost 11,000 members in the group right now. It's a great group. We moderate it, so there's not too much, there's no negativity, no complaining, none of that stuff. It's all supportive conversation that we have in our group. And then you can be on these podcasts live. So that's going to be really, really fun. You can watch the replay in the group as well. Hashtag replay, drop a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know if you received some money from Airbnb as well. By the way, I didn't receive a single penny because I've always used flexible cancellation policy. So yeah, I haven't received anything. And that's something, by the way, I'm still unclear of, is if it's only people that use strict that are receiving money, or if it's also people that use moderate. So I'm going to have to dive into that and figure that out, because I've seen contradictory information pass by. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks, guys. And until next time.